I'm going to make a coffee table for 1 to 12. And for that I have a piece of wood from an orange box. And I'm going to use this side for some resin. So I'm going to draw my pattern on the back side. And remember, when you draw your pattern on the back side of this, then it will be mirrored when you turn it around on the right side. I'm going to make a triangle shaped table, and I am thinking about making it around 1 meter long and half a meter, 55 centimeter in the width. So I'm going to make the shape. I have the size here. So and I like to make it like a triangular shaped table here. So I am going to do that. Something like this. This is going to be a smaller coffee table. And when you're happy with your pattern, you're going to cut it out. And this back side has a lot of small ruffles and hollow places and so on. This can be really easily sanded down if you like to, but to this project I'm not gonna do that. And it even took off a tiny bit of the wood there. That is all fine. Now we are going to the fun part. I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to put that here around on the edges. Just a second and you will see something like this, making sure it's going to reach all the way around. So I have it all the way around the edge and a tiny bit under the bottom. I'm going to tuck it in here underneath on the more straight and nice side of this. And I'm going to place it down on my table, making sure it's really sticking to the sides without going in or folding over, or what you call it. Then I'm going to take some of my resin and I'm going to pour that in there. Like that. And I'm going to take a toothpick, making sure I get the resin all out to the edges. And you could actually let it stand like this a few minutes before you put it into your lamp. Or you can do some funny things with colors. You can mix the colors in a piece of tin foil if you want to, or you can take it and drip it directly into here. And I'm going to do the last thing. Now I'm just going to find the color I like. Light brown. Okay, I'm going to take the light brown here. Actually, I think that's a black one. No, it's a brown. I think I'm going to take a tiny bit of this. And my coloring is really colorful, so I'm not using a total drop. And that is not brown as I thought. This is a red color. So I'm just dragging it here around. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of this also. Well, it says yellow, but let's see. Yeah, that's nice yellow. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of that in here as well. I'm actually thinking I'm going to use this reddish one because I have the red in my resin. So I'm going to take some of this. Where do I have? Here it is. So I'm just going to take some of it, and I wanted to sprinkle it out carefully. And that did not went as I wanted at all. Let's see if I can get it a little out here in the resin. But again, you can decorate these tables just like you feel like. I'm going to start with the blue one. So I'm going to drip it in my blue resin here. And I'm going to do the same on the other one. You can even let it lie as it does here. You can stop like that and have it looking like that, or you can take a straw and you can lightly blow in it. And now all you have to do is let it stand for a few minutes to even out before you put it into your lamp. And then I'm just leaving them for a few minutes, and then I'm going to put them into my lamp for 5-10 minutes. And again, you can decorate your tables just as you feel like, doing with the resin a few things if you like to. So it's all up to you what you like to do with your table. Making patterns if you like to, or just leave it as is. I will put these in the lamp and make them hard, and then I will be back to show you how I make this into a tabletop. This one has hardened all the way up, and I'm going to take off this piece of tape that is all the way around the edge of my tabletop here. And this is a bit sticky on the edge here because of the tape, but that's all fine. I am going to sand it down. I sanded this down first in a nice big grit, and then in a small thin delicious thing grit. And I see I have a piece there. Anyway, so now it is having a really unclear and not that pretty top side. So I'm just going to take this little piece I have of baked clay. I placed a double-sided piece of tape on this little mold that I have, and I'm just brushing it here so it is lifted from my workspace. And then I'm going to take some of my hard resin, just a clear, and I'm just putting a tiny bit on here. I don't want a thick layer this time, just a tiny layer. So I have this brush that I'm going to use to brush it out all over here on the surface. This way this little table get a nice edge all the way around, and the top here will be nice and shiny. And now I'm just going to place this under my UV lamp. I cut off the lower piece of a chopstick and I cut out in a length in 3.7 centimeters. I cut 3 for the legs, turning this one around, and I'm taking a normal school glue and just putting a tiny bit of glue on the thick part and placing them onto my table. And then I'm going to leave this to dry. As I don't like the edge here around the tabletop, I rolled out some clay. That's rolled out on a setting 6, and I'm going to take some of my Big and Bond and put a little here on the edge all the way around the table. Then I cut the edge here off, and I'm starting here at the back side, placing this so it lies all the way up here to the edge of the table, and I'm placing it all the way around the table, making a mark where I need to cut right there, and cutting it off like that and placing it together here. And I'm just carefully squeezing it in so that I'm sure that it's sticking to the furniture itself. And then I have this annoying thing here, so I'm taking my knife and I'm slowly putting it in here and cutting off the excess so it looks like this. And I placed a few things here around these also, just the same way. Put a bit of Big and Bond around and then the clay. And as I'm not going to put this in the oven because I don't know how the resin will act in there, then I am going to use my heat gun on my highest setting and just heat it up. And that way I can make it really hard also. And when I'm done, this is hard and doable, not as rock solid as in the oven. You really should bake your clay really good in the oven, but this will work for this little tabletop or couch table. So that's all there is to it. The other one I decided to keep like this because I think that is quite awesome also. So I'm just going to leave that like this so that I have 2 different kind of couch tables. But that's all there is to it. I hope you like this video, and happy crafting.